Boom. All right. I'm sorry. It's because it starts late when things record. Hello. This is going to be me ranking the four games. Okay? How I'm ranking this, I'm not exactly sure my damn self. You know, you rate things based on enjoyment, gameplay, specific things. I can't really do that. I'm not that. I'm not in the mood to get that detailed. So I'm just gonna rank them and then say why. All right, there's four games. Michonne doesn't count because Michonne ain't part of the same story, but Michonne was cool. It's extremely short. Michonne can be done in, I'd say, 4 hours. Very short game, but it was cool. Free, easy gamer score, as all the games are. All right, number four, to absolutely nobody's surprise, is A New Frontier. All right, with Javier Garcia's and everything. Now, I remember when I first played it, I knew it is going to be probably the least memorable slash least favorite, but it's not. I'm not saying that in the sense as if it's bad. Think of it close to how you'd say Dead Space 3 is the worst in the series. It's the worst in the series, but it doesn't mean it's a bad game. Now, reason why it's the worst, or my least favorite, because worst just sounds like I'm bashing it. Reason why it's number four at the last place is because we're following a different story, really. At this point, with season one and two, everyone is concerned about only two people, maybe three, but mostly one. We're all worried about Clementine, and that's not who we're focusing on. We're focusing on these cholos and their cholo business, their freaking multicolored 1,000 member family. And I'd say that's that on top of it felt more like a TV show rather than the game we know because it's so dramatic with family issues. Oh, Javi, David scaring me. There's action all over the place. A lot of action. God damn, Javier is a monster, but oh my goodness, so much murdering things left and right, both alive and dead. It's crazy stuff. It was fun at first, but then you're like, Jesus Christ, half of this game is me just attacking things as if I'm just playing a normal game. Mainly reason why I'm putting it in fourth place is because, as said, we're following a different story that doesn't necessarily mean we don't care about it, but there's not as much care as it because we're only concerned about our girl. All right. And that's really it for New Frontier. Other than that, I think it was solid. Mind you, there's nothing I would want changed, okay? That's one thing you have to understand. I'm gonna turn on the light so I don't appear African Camerica. There we go. That's a reference to a video that no one knows. I would not change anything about the games, though. Regardless of what you hear me say, I'm not very good creatively, in my opinion, in terms of making my own stories and theory crafting. I just shy away from that because I'm not. My brain isn't good with those things. So, number three, to also probably no one's surprise, is Season 2. Now, Season 2 is probably the make or break of the franchise. Alright? Also, disclaimer, ring, ring, ring. Should have said this at the beginning. This is coming from the perspective of someone who knew essentially everything before he got into the series, okay? I wasn't one of the people that was waiting for every single episode to come out. You know, the stress of all that. No, I only ever had to wait for two episodes, the last two. So this is coming from this perspective of a new fan. Season 2, like I said, make or break. Season 1 finished. We're all concerned. Where's Kenny? Everyone was convinced that Kenny didn't die. Omid and Krista, that had to have been them in the distance. How's our girl? And there they all are. And then boom, Omid's dead. And then you realize that this is the game we're playing now. Now Clementine has morphed. She's a couple of years older. Looks almost like a completely different human. For some reason, she's black now. Season 2, it really is hit or miss. If you know about all the things that went into Season 2, you'll realize a lot of that game could have been a lot more. There was so much stuff scrapped, so many ideas, loose ends that didn't get tied up in things. That's why it seems a bit complicated, where some things are mentioned but never followed up on. There's a lot of missed opportunities in Season 2. But I'd say it's still very good because we still have a lot of care for the group. You know, we're involved with Clementine now. When you see Kenny, you realize that this is the new person that you have to care about. In season one, it was Lee caring about Clem. Now in season two, it's Clementine has to protect Kenny. All right, that's at least how I saw it. A lot of people hated Kenny actually, and were glad to get the option to kill him. Sick people, they deserve the gunshot instead. But season two, I'd say, was still a very solid season because there was still care involved on both ends. Both ends being the characters in the game and us, the players themselves. I thoroughly enjoyed season two. A lot of endings in that one, by the way. I think that's the most endings, most differentiating endings in the series. There's five, I think. You know, you don't kill Kenny, you leave Jane. I'm not going to list all of them. Wait, if you didn't kill Kenny, then Jane would have to be dead, so that didn't even make sense. Ignoring that, season two, I think was solid. Alright, now this is where it's either you unsubscribe and dislike the video, or you smash like and thumbs up. Number two is final season. Alrighty, final season. Ooh, doggy! Man, oh man, the final season. That was a good way to end, man. As long as the beginning and endings are strong, doesn't matter how it was in the middle, if you ask me. The final season was a beautiful way to finish it. Okay? If there was one negative I'd say about the final season, only one, I'd say is that there was never any fear in regards to AJ. Now, in season one, I think this feeling is mutual between everyone. We are terrified of anything happening to Clementine. We don't even think about anything possibly happening to Lee. We are just, all our care is into this little girl. In season four, the roles are reversed. We're back as Clementine, but now we have to take care of AJ. But the thing is, who do you care about more at that point? I cared more about Clementine than I did AJ. And there was never a thought in anyone's mind that AJ would possibly, be up for dibs in terms of who's getting killed. Because these games really like Xing people off. I guess that's a staple of the series, eh? Who's gonna die in this episode? But I think in the final season, there was never any fear. At least from my end, there was never any concern about AJ's mortality. I always knew he would stick to the end. And they always hinted that since the beginning. The decisions you make are, going to shape him into this, that, X, Y, and Z. And at that point, we care more about the girl. We care more about our young woman now, Clem. She was the one I was scared to death about. She was the one I was bawling my eyes out, freaking when they said it was over before it ended, and after they revived it, with me just being so goddamn concerned for her mortality. I wasn't crying over AJ. I was crying because of my girl, my orange. Get it, Clementine Orange? Yeah, final season. That was a good season, man. I don't care what anyone says. The last episode, okay, it was rushed, alright? But can you exactly blame them? They didn't plan for the shutdown of Telltale to happen. I caught everyone lacking, okay? Skybound are heroes. End of story. They did justice, man. Shout out to Skybound, yo. What is it? Also, only 4 episodes. The shortest of the games. You know when it was supposed to originally end? December 18th. Wow. Weird, right? December 18th. I don't even think the second episode was out. Don't know, actually. Other than that, the first 3, I'd say the weakest episode in my opinion. I'll leave episode rankings for a different video. This is just the games. I'd say the weakest one in my opinion was the first episode of the final season. Not in the series, in that specific game, the final season. It just felt really short. Here's how it goes. Boom, you're in a car. We find a shack. Shack explodes. Almost die. Kids save you. Doing a mission with the kids. Something real fishy is going on. We see Abel. We go back. Brody's crazy. We sleep. Marlon kills Brody because we expose him. And then Marlon loses his life because he's a horrible leader. Boop. That took, 25 seconds? You know what's really funny? In every episode, think of what happens throughout all the games. Not a lot happens. But But I think that's the beauty of their storytelling. Good stuff. And number one, to nobody's surprise, or maybe to some, season one. Oh, man. Season flipping one. Wow. Oh my god. Season one, man. Lee, Kenny, Ben, Carly, Larry, St. John. Season one is just you can see how it defined its genre and revived that genre of gaming. Everything about it is so incredible. The antagonist, the pacing, the characters. This is where we first met everyone. Where we first met our little girl. Where we first met the goat Lee. Where we first met our grumpy Uncle Kenny. This is where it all started. And we went so far with them, man. Oh my god. Season one is the best, without a doubt. The dialogue, the pacing of the story, the antagonist. The St. Johns are my favorite antagonists in the entire series. Episode 2, one of the greats. I'll do episode rankings in another video. This is just for the games. But every aspect of a story was perfected in season one. The climax, the music in the right settings, the music in that scene where Lee has to go through just one horde to get his girl. Ooh, that really tugs, man. And then the ending. Everyone knows about the ending, man. Come on. Season one is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. Perfection. A real shining gem in the industry, man. God, if you haven't played it, look, one thing I'll say about the series. I think a reason for them being bankrupt was because no one was buying their games but instead watching them. I'm not saying this as a way to save them. It's too late. Telltale's gone. But playing these games is so much more different from watching them. When you play it, even if you know everything that's going to happen, I promise you, you get involved and you start caring. It's such a different experience when you're the one doing these things, when you're the one making the decisions, and you're really there with them, rather than the audience member, you know? You feel there, and season one, you're there for the entire ride. Season one is such a beautiful game. Oh my goodness, man, there's so much I could say, but I don't want to ramble on unless people are that interested. Okay, that's me ranking the games, all 4 of them. Number 4, New Frontier. 3, Season 2. 2, Final Season. 1, Season 1. Gotta stay humble to the beginnings, and the beginning really kickstarted it all in such a nice way. Alright. Please leave in the comments what to rank about the series next. I'll do anything. Antagonists, episodes, characters. Don't worry, I know the characters one is very important. Credit songs, combat scenes, I don't know. Anything. If you put it in the comments, then I'll do it. If you leave nothing, then I'll do what the hell I want to do when I want to do it. Alright. Subscribe or die, y'all. She lives.